August the 12th, 2016. This is my MyGrav power generation off-grid set. And as you can see, my wire coming from my capacitor here of this refrigerator leads into the load of the capacitors that go through the MyGrav and come back out into the strip here. And, the ground ties from the strip, ground ties right there, and goes over here to an earth ground right there. Now then they turn the other compressor on. Now we've created a loop, and we can see by my voltage indicator there, we got 121.5. If you've noticed, I've had to put a pair of eye strips on here because this little surge protector is nowhere near capable of the amount of watts that we're going to pull through it. This has a startup capacitance of 700 to 800 watts and a continuous run capacitance of 85 watts. This is a panini sandwich grilled cheese maker, lights on, and it's 800 watts. This, as you can see, is a 1500 watt fan force heater, and we're gonna turn it on all the way up to 1500, and you can see she's blowing, and it's hot. This is a 45 watt hair straightener, and I ran another load over to here so I could turn on a 1500 watt hair dryer. Might want to push that reset button, maybe. There we go. That's the low setting, that's the high, so we got 1500 watts. I'm gonna set it on the ground there. I don't want it sitting on my refrigerator. And of course the refrigerator is a key part of this, so you can see that it's working in there, ice in the fridge. Okay, so everything is on and operational. I just stepped on the ground there, and we'll go ahead and turn on these fluorescents too. Forgot about those. And we'll get some thermal readings here for you. Show you that everything's working. Looks like about 345 degrees on that one. Now let's see what the heater's putting out. We gotta clear it, and then we'll go back to this over here. 241, and of course the MyGrav coils. The bottom coil is, oh, sorry about that. The bottom coil, if I can keep it on there, 116, 111. The middle coil, 96, 95. Oh, and of course the top coil looks like it's bouncing back and forth. We're going to say 115. We got right here 87 degrees in that. Right there. Wires 88, 91 degrees. The hair dryer is still running. The heater's still putting out plenty of heat. We'll come over here. See what the hair dryer is putting out. Hot enough for me. 171 degrees there. So everything seems to be fully functional in operation. Like I said, we use the capacitor startup run cap, and it starts the system. And this one makes an infinity loop, are plugged into the system. That creates the voltage. And if we add up the wattage here, we got 15 and 15 is 3,000, so that's 3 kilowatts. 8, 3,800, 54, so 3,854, and let's just call it even 100 on the 2 refrigerators. So 3,954 and 50 on that, so 4K right now. It looks like what we're pulling off this particular unit. You can see I had a piece of matter copper there. It got hot. None of this did though. Look at that, 116 degrees, 104, sorry. And we'll get over here on this, now that it's nano, look, 200 degrees. But you go right here, and you see it starts dropping down. And that's a little bitty 20 gauge stranded wire, but it cools down as it goes through the mag grab. You can see it's dropped down to 94 degrees. And now that this is nano coated, the next time I fire it up, it will be at a lower temperature. It won't get that high like the rest of these. You know, they don't get high, 88 degrees. They've already been nano coated. Once the nano coating process takes over, then it's all it does its own thing from there. Well, anyway, that's more than 4 minutes to show arming, and I'm hot enough out here, and I've got heaters blowing, and hair dryers are going, and everything. We'll leave the lights running and get the. Let's see, the 2 compressors are what runs everything. Everything can be taken off of here. You don't have to, as you can see, I've got an earth ground. You don't have to have an electrical source. There's no wires attached anywhere around here at all. You know, see, anybody can see it comes off the compressor right there. There's no wires except for what's on the ground. That goes to the hair dryer, back down to the strip. Like I said, if it wasn't for those vice grips, we would have never been able to do that, because that little surge protector will only allow so many watts to go through it, and we just pulled 4,000 watts through it, so they're not rated at that. A 14 gauge wire is rated at 1440. And as you can see, this wire is not even hot, and it's a 18 gauge stranded wire. And look at this little bitty wire here. It's a 20 gauge stranded wire, and it didn't melt at all. You know, piece of matter copper got hot there, but that was something I threw on at the end because I burned a cap earlier. But even with 3 caps, we still managed to pull 4Ks. So and we showed the thermal indication that all the units were working. And as you can see again out here, there's no wires, just an earth ground. I do require a ground. The appliances have their own ground, but they're not earth grounded unless you're hooked into the grid. If you're hooked into the grid, then you've got a ground for your appliances through your neutral. But when you're off grid, you don't have that ground for your appliances. And in order to make these appliances with the start run capacitors to operate properly, you need a ground. So this is the earth ground, and you know, I chose to use a number 8 solid gauge solid copper wire. So this is I hope will satisfy everyone's curiosity and show that the marvelous feat that this unit is available to do. You know, it will perform a specific function, several actually, but one of the main functions is not only the power generation ability, but the ability to carry massive amounts of current and wattage through nano-coated wires, and through the nano-coating process allows this to become a superconductor, which allows the electricity to travel through here at a higher rate of speed, frequency if you will, so you know, less resistance. If there's no resistance, there's no heat. You know, this is a new piece of wire right here, you know, and it's warm to the touch, but it's not hot anymore. But that's the reason it, you know, became hot, because it was a brand new piece of wire. It hasn't been nano coated yet. So this was, you know, put in here on purpose to show you. You see that none of the rest of that left a mark there, you know, just the one spot right there. I had my knee on that ground, and like I said, the two systems are making electricity right now, so it will give you a little bit of a shock there if you touch the ground on one side. But anyway, I hope this satisfies everybody's curiosity, and peace and blessings to all, and thank you for this wonderful opportunity.